Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is The Police. It's day 77, Freeburg, September 29th on a Sunday. City Hall vows to resolve water crisis. Fighter Air show... No, I'll try that one again. Fighter Air show taking place outside City. Wooden Horse Toy Store donates toy trucks to orphanage. Let's go over here and see how we are favoured. City Hall, they're okay. 2 out of 3. Mafia bloody loves us. Police station, don't know. Let's go to work today. And here we go. Hold or toad. Some pipes in my house burst and I need to wait around for the plumber. Can I take off for the day? No, you can't. You can get your janitor or whatever. Your janitor, here's a word. It looks like the janitor hasn't been around to clean the toilets today. I don't know about you, but I care about cleanliness of more intimate. Can I go home? No. I mean, you're not going to take your shit out of the station, are you? You're going to be on patrol. So you'll be using like toilets outside the station. I think the employment situation is sort of under control here, but we'll have a bit of a look-see once we get in here. There we go. No, we may have a couple of people left. Oh, we have a journalist investigation. A 25-year-old Maria Solis employee at City Hall was found brutally murdered in her flat. We can assign Soap and Lockett along with SWAT to go down there. Let's see here, journalistic investigation. Well, we rather unfortunately helped him out there. I didn't intend on, and we got a tiny little payout here. We can hire either Sam X Bankley or JJ Boogie. I'm not willing to do that, so we actually got quite a few slots left here, but I'm not hiring any of those in just on the basis of the names. Not on, mate, not on here. We need to redistribute our officers because A shift here very much loaded here, so Cunnilingus here goes to B shift. What about here? We have... Oh dear, I had to hire that bloke, didn't I? Oh, well, let's see how they're doing in terms of experience. Well, they are the most experienced bunch of officers over there. So they can also have... what's his name here? That bloke there. What are their actual names? So let's have a look at all the new ones we hired in. We got Norlander here. Let's see here, info. Marcus Norlander. And who's this info? Oh, not him. Oh, I hope I can fire you at some point. What about Griffith here? That's Heather Griffith and Stuart Little here. Or Elizabeth Little is probably the correct name. What about Toad? That's Jonathan Ho. Seems to have alcohol problems. Oh, that's why he wanted to go in, isn't it? What about Cunnilingus? That's Lake Cunnilingus and Shanow here. What's that? That's John Shanow and King here. Let's see, Leslie King, not Larry King, but all of that out here is, yeah, all of it. Hang on, is that not Lockett? Oh, that's the previous screen, yeah, okay, I'm just getting confused here. What about down here? We've got DeGo, we've got Gorshkov, we've got George Best. What about Jensen here? Who's this? Adam Jensen. And Detective Ross, we've got Weaver, and we've got, yeah, whatever. Let's get cracking here with the day then. We have an animal abuse at the Freeburg High School. Some students are claiming that the dentist showed up during their biology lesson and covered up some live frogs with his drill. Well, we probably don't expect this to be real, but we can send down a couple of coppers. No, we can't. They're just not willing to work. Well, they're going to go down there. 3 brand new officers. Well, it's a good start for them, innit? Public indecency now at the University of Freeburg. We just received a call from a university lecturer who reports that a first-year student went to the ball during a lecture, took down his trousers and defecated right in front of the entire class. Maybe it was some sort of hazing or a rite of passage. Well, do we have anything out here that's sort of like a pun with poo? No, but I don't like this guy here, so he can go down and deal with that and hopefully get shot in the face, so I don't have to fire him. We got new frames for the feds over here. We don't really care. We can't do much about it. We can just give it to the federal police. We have a bit of an issue, though, here in our investigation. Mainly that people have been taken off because people were fired, and I didn't take that into consideration. We'll go ahead then and assign here. I've chosen Weaver, but Weaver's at home. We've got to go with Nava here. She is at work, even though she doesn't like being at work. What about the homicide here? Let's see, are they working? No, they're at home, but we've got the German fire engine, and who do we have here in hit and run? They're working, both of them are. We've got plenty of investigators here. So let's see here, you are at home, that's okay. We can assign Tar, because he's also at home. Close this down, and we can go over into the archive, and is there anything here that we can reopen? We can probably go in here with a double homicide. We can probably reopen that. And who can we sign as lead? Lockett and Steve Soper can go on that one. And what about other investigations here? Archive, homicide. Yeah, we can reopen that one as well. We want to go in here with the murders. Oh dear, we only have one here. So we'll wait with that one for tomorrow and reopen that there. We now got reports coming in from the cases. Yeah, false alarm. Unfounded call, I'd rather call them. Anywho, it was just some students that wanted to cause trouble and made the whole thing up. So obviously we had to get in touch with them. And the annoying twat here got actually people arrested. And he was unharmed, rather disappointingly. We have a hostage situation with a fatal casualty again. Richard Lester, manager of Papa Carl's Pizzeria, reported that a deranged elderly man quarrelled with an employee because the line was too long. Unsatisfied, he pulled out a gun and shot the employee in the stomach. The other customers fell into a panic and made a break for the door, but he fired several shots into the air and ordered everyone to finish their meals. That does not sound good. We'll assign... I don't know why we'll assign a paddy wagon down there, actually. We'll hold that one off. It's just a single suspect. We'll get SWAT down there with the tactical entry and that. We'll get King, we'll get Shanna, we'll get Connie Lingers, and we'll get Carr, and we will get Norlander down there. We just want to cover that one off, and hopefully all will go well. We have a request from Ariel Coyer at the Sardius Jewelry Store. Mr. Boyd, I would like to offer you a great opportunity to make some real money. Just send 2 policemen to the store who will pretend that they're trying to stop a robbery. Let me be clear, the robbers must leave the crime scene intact with the cash. Are you literally asking me if I want to take part in some sort of insurance scam? No, I will not, and I could go down and actually deal with it. But we won't. We will just deal with our hostage with a fatal casualty. There's a clear view from the street. The suspect is sitting at a table in the corner, quietly eating his pizza. There's a gun next to him. There's about a dozen other people in the restaurant. Call the pizzeria and ask to speak with the man with the gun. Storm the pizzeria or wait until the suspect exits the restaurant. We can storm it, which might work if everyone is... Let's see here. Okay. There are a dozen other people in the restaurant, but are they lying on the ground as ordered, or are they sitting at tables? That's an important piece of information here. Because if they're all lying on the ground, it will be quite easy to storm in. Certainly it's a lot more, they're not in the background. Usually you can probably even go lethal without shooting them. But we can call in here and try and negotiate our way out. That would be the probable usual one. Yeah, and it worked out well. Well, civilians unharmed, let's not really get into that, because we heard somebody died. Oh, we got 2 calls popping up here. The first one is retiree Martha Meyer called in to complain about her neighbour, Roberto Morales. I haven't seen his wife, and last night I saw him burying something in the backyard. Today I asked him where his wife was, and he mumbled something about a business trip. I'm afraid that he's done something to her. All the time I hear them arguing and cursing at each other. We can get King, and we can get that chap down there, the one that hopefully will die. We now have theft also in the burbs. Shannon Waldrop arranged a reception at his home. Shannon Waldrop resigned at his home. No, I think we were looking at her home for her rich friends, about 30 people. Towards the end of the evening, well, maybe they did a gender reassignment thing. When the servants began to take away the dishes, they noticed that about 10 silver cutlery items were missing. No one has left the house yet, so the thief is still there. Well, it sounds like something for my rookies to go down and deal with. Oh, Christ, we now have a massacre. Several men dressed in camouflage entered the restaurant carrying large sports bags. They asked for a table, ate their meal, and then took out some guns from the bags and opened fire in all directions. Oh dear, this seems to be the big one. We'll get everyone down there. Everyone, just everyone. I'd even reassign officers that were working here just to go over there. Because that's, a big shootout with bad guys in a place where they are with other people. It's a very bad situation. All available resources should be used at that call. Although I suppose we need to keep a couple of officers available for other calls. I mean, you can't just literally send everything down there, because then you could do a robbery in the other side of town. Yeah, and they are now saying that it's more serious than we thought, but I can't reassign officers from a call, so I'm sorry, but you'll all have to deal with it just as you are. I mean, there are a lot down there. Let's see here. Nobody died. Well, nobody died. That's a good thing. At the massacre, nobody died, so it was a good massacre. We can take the weapons to the police station, or we can ask the mafia to sell it. Well, they've all taken our money away, so we'll just sell it all, or maybe I should stop with that. Anyway, we now are back at the suburb theft. The guests are eating dessert and talking about politics. Well, time to run away. Nobody's going home until we find the thief. Listen, it's not one of those films or TV series, is it? So we can't say that. Ask all the guests carrying a purse to go into a separate room, pick out the most suspicious looking man, and beat him. Oh, okay, yeah, we're going to have to go with the TV drama line then. One man, outraged by the situation, jumps up and yells that he's too honourable and important to participate in such a circus. Shut him up with a nightstick, or search him, yes, search him. We want to, what's the word, emasculate him, I think is the correct term here. Taking advantage of the panic, one of the guests stand up and quietly moves towards the back door. Where do you think you're going? Tackle him before he can escape. Ask the hostess for a bottle of champagne. Well, let's try and go in with a police attempt here. Offender escaped and officers unharmed. Yeah, it's just some cutlery. Who gives a toss? Mrs. Morales really is on a business trip, and Roberto was simply gardening and tending his roses. And we now have a rape at the apartment house. Marcina Prolak. I'll try the word again, or name again. Marcina Prolak said she heard noises, then screaming coming from a neighbouring apartment. She couldn't make out most of the words, but the man said, "I'll find it and then I'll shut your mouth for good, you whore." Mrs. Polak then added that the man who lives in that apartment is always in trouble with the law, and she's repeatedly seen him carrying a gun. Okay, that does very nicely written, that one, apart from the name. But that is the kind of information you usually get, he's got a gun because that would be treated more seriously. Either he's got a gun and we need to treat it more seriously, or he doesn't, but she's trying to get a police response immediately. So we'll go ahead and we'll get Coachy and Jane Austen down there, because it could be somebody, with a gun. We've got frames, no new frames found. What about the double homo? Nothing. What about drug trafficking? We got a new frame found. I reckon we may have to hold off a bit on that, though. Let's wait and see what we get now out here, though, with this call-out for people with rapes and that. Officers have arrived at the rape, and inside the apartment there is a naked girl lying on the couch in tears. Standing next to her is a man with a gun. He takes aim at the police. Before we read on, I don't think that rape victims are usually taken naked. Although, if this is in a house, it could have happened. It just seems like it would be too much of a struggle. I know it's a woman, it's not naturally as strong, or usually, not naturally, but usually. Stereotypically, I think is the correct term of use, that women don't have the same physical power that a man does, so it will be easier for him to hold it. But women, Jesus Christ, they can be ferocious. Even the small ones can easily just absolutely destroy a man if she wants to, because women are better than men. That's just a fact, just true fact there. Anyway, we'll just ignore the fact that she's naked, and we can go drop your weapon, rush to help the girl or shoot the suspect. He takes aim at the police, shoot him, immediately drop him. He took aim, that's why we shot. Simple as. Apparently she was raped but unharmed. Okay, I don't think that's how it works, but I'm not going to argue with the professionals. Let's end the day because we can. We can also ask some people to stay in, and I want O'Hanlon to stay in for tomorrow because I don't like him. Investigators, they can all take a bit of a rest because they've had a bit of a workout, and we can also get, who can we get? Well, we moved 2 people to B shift. Actually, we moved 2 people to B shift, and we already have 2 here, so it should all even out. We'll end the day here and have a look at what else we can find. On day 78, dentist victims growing older. That's usually how aging works. Well spotted, Freeburg Tribune. The fact reports that 45-year-old City Hall worker strangled by maniac. Brutally murdered Maria Camila Solis was long-standing employee of City Hall. So clearly this is somebody that doesn't like City Hall. Yeah, and we don't have any new intel there. We'll just go to work. Goshkov didn't come into work today. And the Brito is too tired, can hardly walk straight. Can you go home? Yes, you can. You can have a bit of a rest stop. We can give a stripe to somebody that we feel deserves it. But I don't know who deserves it at all, actually. Let's be honest here. Day 78 begins. We are at our dispatching desk. We have the option of hiring 2 officers, but it's only Sam X Bangley and JJ Boogie. We can try and hire one and see if a new one would show up on the following. But let's hire both, actually, just to give it a bit of a look-see here. I'd hopefully just have them murdered or something. Matthew assignment, Jack. We have something going down at the business end of today at 1500 hours. We wouldn't want any policemen crashing the party. I think $1,000 should be enough to cover the event. Okay, whatever. We'll see what happens there. Labour market. No new there. They'll probably only just come in tomorrow. Let's have a look at our investigations and see who's actually working today. Homicide, I think he took the day off. Let's see here, detectives. Yeah, he took the day off, so it's only Tar working. What about the double homicide here? Yeah, they worked yesterday. What about the homicide here? Detectives, they're working today. So what about our archive here? Anything else? Yeah, we got a homicide here that we can reopen. And presumably we have a couple of here. We can get Weaver on the case, and we can get Bruce Banner here working as well. Hopefully they will uncover items. And we'll hold the other off out here in case we get another call or case come in for them. We have a public indecency call at the beach. Viola Corley caught the police when she saw a naked young woman sunbathing at the beach. I came here with my grandchildren and there's this woman with her legs spread apart. It's just shameless. I want this dealt with immediately. Well, I mean, I promise you we will come down then. We'll have a good look at this case and we will investigate it very thoroughly. So who can we send down? Yeah, we'll get Jensen down there. He can have a bit of a look and see what kind of business she's up to. Jensen's gone off to look at women at the beach, and we now have an attempted murder at the Gallery of Modern Art. The owner of a gallery phoned in a complaint about a repairman who helped install her exhibition. I made a casual remark to him, and he looked to me like he was a serial killer. I'm afraid it's a dentist, and I'm next on his list. Listen, you're being crazy, woman. We are not responding to that one. That's just clearly bullshit. We can't go down there because you saw someone look at you funny. That's not how this works. If you've got a reason for it, yes. Just phoning in because somebody looked at you funny and you just assumed he was a serial killer? No. Get stuffed, woman. Jensen went down there. The offender escaped. Oh, what a shame. The naked woman went away. That's very sad. What would you have done if she was down there anyway? I mean, it's on the beach, you know? They just go, nice tits on that, and then just leave. We now have an assault at St. John's Hospital. A guest came into the hospital to check on a man named Christopher Rhodes, but he wasn't allowed in because visiting hours are over. The man became unruly and hit the nurse. Yeah, that does sound like an assault in progress. Would get cunnilingus and Hanloran down there just so he can get murdered. The attempt at robbery, the repairman didn't threaten anyone. Yes, I pretty much guessed that. We now also have an assault at the business centre. Stockbroker Jerome Fania. Oh, I can't do that word. Let's try one more. Come on. Stockbroker Jerome Fenigana. I've got it now, people. I'll try one more. This is the one. If I was kind of competent, I'd done the first time round. Let's go. Stockbroker Jerome Fenigana was sitting in his office when he was attacked by an unhappy client. Jerome managed to escape and lock himself in a closet. Meanwhile, his attacker is trying to break down the door. Okay, what can we send here? We can send Larry King and George Best down and have a bit of a chat. We have two calls out here. A suspicious individual at St. John's Hospital. We just had two coppers go down there. Could they not swing by at the same time? They're down there. A man with a lacerated hand walked into the emergency room. He said he hurt his hand while he was drilling something at home, but I don't believe him. From the side, he looks just like the dentist. Yeah, we can't send any officers. Terribly sorry about that, but, you know, it's just, you know, you're just seeing things, basically. Destruction of property, city centre. A group of environmentalists have gathered at a first store and begun throwing stone through the roofs. Yeah, we probably need to attend that, don't we? We'll go with Digo and Jensen down there. You can. Quite clearly you can. But we'll assign both officers because I'm not just leaving anybody back there. Anyway, but these calls about the dentist is quite poignant, I think, given the fact that this very morning, or last night actually, on Wednesday, there was some police here in the country that was alerted to one of the possible people from Berlin was taking a ferry, so they did lots of stuff over there. Turns out it wasn't him, or certainly they didn't find him if he was there. He may have just, you know, walked away. But they did say, quite interestingly, that they had a call come in from a guy out walking his dog, and they had further information to support that claim, which kind of makes me question why they didn't get him there. And they also called in a press briefing, so I don't know what went on there, but he may have actually been there, but they didn't get him. Reading between the lines and pure speculation and all of that, it just seems weird. Very weird. Anyway, the suspect is under arrest, but the whole time he's resisting and demanding he be allowed to visit the patient. That's my brother. He won't survive to the end of the week. Just let me see him. Remove the handcuffs and let him go to his brother, then arrest him afterwards. take the offender to the police station, let him visit the room, but keep him under arrest. Why is there not an option of asking the nurses whether or not it is actually his brother? And if it is, we'll have a pop in there. But let's give him a pop in there. There's no real harm done there. I mean, it's one of those things that you just can do. He's in custody. He's not running away. There's 2 coppers with him. He's in there. He's in the room. He's at the hospital anyway. Yeah, we'll just let him in there, have a bit of a chat. Because if he really dies, at least we've done that. And, it gets a bit of cred with him. So he'll be more corroborative with police in the future in case that happens. But now Chris G. Sand... Oh, dear. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so out of the destruction of property... Customers and employees are running out of the store. The security guard is trying to reason with the protesters. One of the activists throws a Molotov cocktail through a broken window. Some coats are instantly on fire. Nobody moves. I'll skin you alive. Call the fire brigade and attack the activists with a nightstick. Grab one of the surviving coats as gift for your sister. No, I don't think she'd appreciate that, but we will go ahead and we'll call the fire and we'll beat people in the faces with batons because that's what the police do. Oh dear, we got a mass riot. We have a suspicious individual report. Yes, we know about the unfounded call down here. We were just waiting for everyone to come back before we attend the mass riot. Come on, everybody clear. Come on, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Let's see here. Pop star Alana Morales can't get to the concert because her bus is surrounded by excited fans. The singer... Oh, words are very difficult. Terribly sorry. Let's try again. The singer's manager is afraid that the fans will tear her to pieces. You've got to come over here and sort this out. This is more than our security can handle. Well, we can send down a couple of coppers, but I don't really know why we'd nick anyone down there. They can go off then. They can request backup if they need it. We just need them to step back a bit. I mean, we're not going to arrest anyone. They're going in there as fans, right? What's the point? We have reports coming in from the mass riot here, and offenders were caught, officers were unharmed, and civilians were unharmed. Although I don't technically know what they did wrong, other than you just need to get the bus in there and that's about it. If they're in a parking area, we can't technically do much because they're not even obstructing a public roadway. They can't just, congregating at a concert place, which is kind of what people do. Oh, we have 3 homicide reports coming in. No new frames found, no new frames by Mole, and no new frames found by DeBrito. Rather unsurprisingly, I think. Day 78 comes to a close at 2 AM. Officers are sitting here. What do we have on A shift? We got a lot of coppers there. If you look at A shift and you look at B shift, yeah, we need to shift a couple more over. Let's see here. We can get Griffith moved. Well, we'll wait with the move until tomorrow. We just have to ask people to stay in late now. Let's see here. No. Well, we don't want to because they're all kind of decent. Yeah, so B shift is what's working now. So this is the one we can look at here. Anyone we want to ask to stay in, Jensen, you need a bit of a boost, don't you? King's very low, so you'll get a couple of days off, and everyone else, yeah, you'll need a bit of a resty, don't you? Day 79 dawns. Let's see here. Freebrick Tribune. Are they as obvious as before? Rabinovich Casino owner. We keep the nut jobs out. The fact. Moonlit Soccer Stadium hosts concert in honor of City Day. And the Golden Bird reports drug addiction in city increased by 38%. That's a lot. What about here? Oh, apparently the Mafia loves us for some reason, despite the fact that we did something back to them the other day. City Hall, they bloody loves us as well. And when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Well, that's what we are doing. Nava drank too much. I think I can't hold it together today. Can I go home? Yes, I can fire you! Finally, I accidentally broke my bathroom mirror while I was getting ready for work. My dad always said it's 7 years of bad luck, but I know it's a silly superstition. It'll probably only last 7 hours, but it might be a good idea for me to take the day off. No, I don't think so. Ho, I got tickets to watch the filming of it. No, you've just started work. Over here, anyone here actually deserves anything? I don't think so. She's fired. We're getting the fuck out of her, right? Or we're not getting the fuck out of her. That sounds like we've been doing dirty stuff. No, we're firing her to fuck. Let's go in. Oh, we got lots and lots of bad stuff going on there. Let's have a look here. Where is she? A shift. Nava. Fire. Fire. Came to work drunk. You're fired. And labour market. No, we don't have anyone else out here. So let's hire someone for A shift. Hire Kenneth Wise for A shift and he'll start soon. That's good. What about the Mafia share? Take everything for ourselves. Yeah, we want to do that so we don't share the intel out here. So Purdy. This woman was an honest servant. Yes, she was. Let's go into here. Donna Fritzemans, will we not bury them with police honours instead of military honours? Yes, she was very good. And what about Klaus? No. This man was an honest servant of the city. Today he was buried with military honours. Yes, he was. Correct indeed. Unfortunately, we can't hire anyone in, and we got this Jay. God, that annoys me no end. Hopefully, he'll be another drunk or something that we can fire soon, so we can get rid of him and get somebody else in. Just hopefully. We have an assault at an apartment house. Roberta Lynn was crying hysterically as she reported that a neighbour had spent the last few days constantly using a power drill. Besides himself over the constant noise, her husband Derek went to investigate. He and our neighbour quickly fell to blows, and Mrs. Lynn's husband received a stomach injury from the man's power drill. Derek Lynn was able to return home and lock the door, but the neighbour is currently breaking into their house and screaming like a lunatic. The frightened woman cried and pleaded to the headset. There were rumours that the man spent some time in the nut house. I'm afraid the rumours are true. Well, not necessarily. We'll get Jay Boogie, and we'll call him something else. We'll call him Jay. Just call him Jay. And Griffith down there. You can go ahead and you can deal with that. Presumably that might be the dentist. The apartment horse is... Apartment horse? No, let's try apartment house. Is more serious than thought. Certainly the assault is. So we'll go ahead and we'll assign a couple more coppers down there. They're requesting 2 additional. So let's get Hode and Shanow down there. We also have destruction of property over on Fleet Street. A woman witnessed students running into telephone booths and tearing out the receivers. I think they're competing to see who can steal more of them. They put the receivers in a bag and ran away. We can get Stuart Little and the twat down there. Hopefully he'll get himself murdered. Hanlan wasn't killed. They in fact caught the suspects and officers were unharmed, so he actually got a bit better with that. We also finished the report out here on the assault. Offender escaped, civilians unharmed, so presumably that may actually have been the dentist. We now have a fight on the beach, but that's a lot of activity. A family walked out to the beach and noticed that a few surfers were gathered near the water, aggressively arguing with each other. Look, they're about to fight. We'll hold off with sending on anyone down there just in case we get officers returning here in a moment. Well, we might not get everyone back in time, but we can certainly assign out here. No, we won't. So we'll assign Stuart Little, Hanlan and Norlander and Khan, and we'll get the paddy wagon down there as well, and hopefully they'll nick a couple of people. Or Hanlan will get murdered, in which case I'll be happy. We have a firefight at presumably the police station. Numerous witnesses report that 2 big black SUVs are facing off in the centre of the city. Armed men exited the vehicles and started firing at each other. We'll get SWAT, we'll get Jay, Jensen, Shanow, Toad, Griffith, Birch, and Austin down there. The beach fight has been updated as officers arrived on scene. The police are having difficulty crossing the deep sand and the surfers are already thrashing each other's boards. Take off your shoes and throw them at the offenders. Try to grab the surfers. Dude, don't break the boards. Try to grab them. The surfers are covered in butter. They slip through the police officers' hands and escape into the water with their boards. Undressed and going after them. Guys, can you teach me how to surf? Fire into the air and shouts, nobody move! Yeah, let's do that one. That's the police choice, isn't it? And it worked. People were injured, though. Sadly, not Hanlan. Disappointing. Very disappointing. We also have a suspicious individual down there, but I really doubt it's real. We can assign 1 more additional officer to the firefight, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that. We just can't do anything else right now. Suspicious individual call. The clothing next door had left an old mannequin in the doorway, so nothing at all. We also have a shooting at the high school. Oh dear. Bloody Christ. Well, it's a good thing we have officers returning home soon. The firefight call was cleared. Officers were caught. No, officers weren't caught. Officers were unharmed. Civilians were unharmed. And offenders were caught. Let's bring the weapons to the police station. We don't want to be any more dodgy than we are. Hopefully officers will be back soon. We'll just wait and see if they will clear. Oh, they will clear very quickly here. Lovely stuff. So we can go out here and see what's going on. Shots rang out at the school dance in the gym, and one of the teachers fell to the floor with a hole in his stomach. Panic descended as the crowd rushed to the exits. Nobody knows who fired the shot or what's going on, said one hysterical schoolgirl who witnessed the shooting. So what we have here, people, is a school shooting. But apparently we can't assign every fucking one to go to a fucking school shooting like you normally would, because it's a fucking school shooting. Anyway, we'll get bloody everyone out there that we can. Presumably, they'll request further assistance as we get out there. We also have a homicide, at an apartment. Kenya Anderson, the whole country that is, was the one who called it in. There was an older man smoking out on the street, and 2 young men walked up and asked for a cigarette. The man said he didn't smoke, and a fight broke out. The old man managed to fend off his attackers until one of them pulled out a knife and struck the man in the chest. The perpetrators appeared behind the nearby green door. A red-headed hot dog seller tried to help him, but it was too late. Let's assign a couple of 2 cops down there. They'll go out there and investigate that. I really want to not assign too many out there. They can also request more backup if they get on scene. But I don't think they'll actually beat the other coppers. No, they won't, because it's a bit of a drive. That kind of just makes me question whether or not we want to assign all 4 remaining if the school requests backup out there. Which they do right here, and they can get full officers out there. Yeah, we just have to do that. That is far more important. Right now, we've got a school shooting. Far more people's lives are at risk. Other than down there. I mean, that may result in police death. Okay, what do we have here, though? Apartment house homicide. A few onlookers are gathered around the crime scene. A red-headed man in white clothes is bent over the body and is doing something with it. Did anyone see the attackers? The red-headed man can be arrested or get the onlookers away from the old man's corpse. Let's get them back. A young woman runs up and says the attackers already fled. One of them she knew. It was her neighbour from apartment 207. Break into the house through the rusty door, or again enter the house through the green door, or climb up the fire escape. Let's break through enter the house through the huge rusty door. At the walls on the 2nd floor are painted with strange symbols. The decorations converge around apartment 205. Come out now with your hands up. It might provoke a result from everyone. Let's try and do that. And see here. Oh, it works. Oh, bloody. Why is he so good? I want him to die. Anyway, let's have a look here at the reports. No new frames. Double homicide, 1 new frame. And no new frames for Marlowe. Shooting report came in as the officers arrived to back up over there. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians were unharmed. Well, apart from the one that was shot in the stomach, obviously. And we'll close this down and we'll end the day here.